Hey, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to talk about superstition. I have two events that have taken place in my life that I'm going to describe for you today. The first event was with this red cardinal that used to fly up to my car and it would peck at my window, and I assumed the reason it was doing all this was maybe because it saw its reflection in the window or saw its reflection in the mirror. I didn't know, so I became curious about this, and so I looked it up and I researched it. And it turns out that, if you have a cardinal that's pecking at your window, it's not a good sign. Although red cardinals are known for being a symbol of a visitor from heaven, from a loved one, they say if the red cardinal is pecking at your window, that it usually indicates that there's going to be, death within your household within the next week or something like that. And I was like, okay, that's a little concerning. So that's the first superstitious example. The next one is one that happened recently, where I walked outside and I looked over to my right, and there should I see a black crow. Well, if you know anything about black crows, they also symbolize death. And so I was very concerned with this as well, and I thought to myself, what could it mean? There's a black crow on a rock. Well, that's exactly what it means, just a black crow on a rock. I know this seems kind of ridiculous, but it examples the ridiculousness of superstitions. It's like there's nothing that's going to befall you. Nothing's going to happen as a result of seeing these birds. Obviously, there was no death in my household from seeing the red cardinal, and as far as I know, I'm well intact since seeing this black crow. But maybe I should be worried. I don't know. I think not, because I think it's nothingness, and it's just got me thinking about how people can find meaning in absolutely nothing, and then it got me thinking about God and religion and Christianity, and how people are superstitious with that. And I remember when I was growing up as a youngster, I went to church, and they would tell me stories about, when you hear it's raining and you hear the thunder and everything, that that's the angels. They must be bowling again. They have a bowling alley in heaven. I'm like, really? I'm like, get a grip. This is ridiculous. And then they would say stuff like, oh, well, when it's raining, the rain coming down, those are the tears from heaven, and heaven's sad, the angels are crying, or God's crying, and I get these are cute little stories to tell kids, but I don't know that they serve them well when you fill their head full of this type of superstitious mumble jumble. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. It seems very ridiculous, and I agree, it seems kind of ridiculous that I'm making a video about this, but I thought I would share this concept about superstition. And of course you have superstitions with like black cats, and they bring bad luck, and it's like, how in the world could a black cat, one way or the other, impact any kind of good fortune or misfortune that you have? It's a cat. It's got 4 legs and it's furry. It doesn't impact your life in any bit way. Oh, well, it just means if you see it, it's bad luck. Well, yeah, luck is superstition, and so whatever. So it got to me thinking about, like, well, what if you're, by a train track, and one day you nearly get hit by this train, but you step out in the nick of time, and your voice, should you fall down on your knees and say, oh, thank you, God, for saving me? Or should you just say, well, hey, maybe I was very lucky? I mean, it's just all in how you want to sort of relate to these subjective events that, could be explained through other ways that don't necessarily have to be anything to do with God or, your religion. Another example of kind of goofy superstitious stuff is, okay, sometimes you look at your phone, and what does it mean when multiple times when you look at your phone? Like, for my area code is 207. What does it mean when I look at my phone every time and it says 207? Oh, that's my area code. It must mean something. Again, you're trying to draw meaning from nothing. It just means that every time you look at your phone, it just happens to be 7 minutes past 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That's all it means. It doesn't mean anything more than that, and you shouldn't make anything more of it. But people can, and people do. How about if you look at your phone and every time you look at it, it says 911, 911. What does it mean? September 11th, or an emergency call? Maybe you need to call someone. They need help or something. It's like, you can try to find, I know how ridiculous this sounds, but it's like, there are people that believe this sort of stuff, that they're, and I get that if you look at your phone every last 5 times and it's the exact same time, maybe there is some significance to that. Maybe there isn't. I don't know. To me, it seems like it's probably less probable that it really means anything other than just that, you just keep looking at the same time. Random coincidence? Probably. I don't know for sure, but it's just superstitious stuff. It doesn't mean anything. It's finding meaning in something that doesn't really mean anything. So it's a short one today. Thanks for watching. See you next time.